My name is Sonia Lele. I work at Salesforce in marketing analytics, and my title is I'm a Senior Director of Marketing Data Enablement.
How would you describe what you do in simple terms?
I help marketers get the data they need to make smart decisions by building the systems, data sets, and tools that make insights easy to find and use.
Tell me a little bit about how you ended up doing what you're doing today.
One of my first jobs out of college, or actually my senior year in college, was shadowing an executive in the media and marketing industry, one of the senior leaders at the agency McCann Erickson. Once I graduated, I actually ended up getting a job at a media company. It was at the tail end of the dot-com boom. I landed my first job at iVillage.com, an online community for women's health and women's lifestyle issues long before blogs and social media existed. I started there as a content analyst working on early web measurement tools to really understand how content was being consumed, how user experience on the site could be improved, how we could share web analytics stats to advertisers to get more advertisers on the site for ad revenue, essentially. And from there, my career naturally evolved into digital analytics and then further on to new ways of technology powered user experience through personalization. So I've really been in the space of how data shapes digital experiences for most of my career.
Something you stumbled on that surprised you when you were early in your career?
Some of the surprises to me were just the volume of traffic that websites get. We started looking at how our website compares with some of the ComScore's top 100 publishers. And it was always amazing to me how we were one of 2,000 websites. And this is like early days of 2000, where the internet was about 3 years old for commercial purposes. There was just thousands and thousands of websites out there with tons of traffic and very detailed measurement on how users experience these sites. Fast forward almost 29 years, I'm still doing a lot of that same measurement. So it is fascinating to me how much the internet has evolved, but in some ways, we're still doing a lot of what we did back then.
What do you love about what you do?
What I love is making good data accessible to more people. I love working on analytics. I love collecting data and figuring out how we have the right instrumentation on how we can measure what we're measuring, and then the application of that data to a wide variety of use cases. I think that's fun. It's interesting. We're empowering marketers, we're empowering business decision makers to take decisions that are very much grounded in trustworthy data, not just data, but it needs to be integrated, it needs to be trusted, it needs to be coming from a single source of truth. And this type of decision making allows marketers to really scale their industries, opportunities.
Tell me something cool or something exciting that you've recently worked on.
The coolest thing we've done recently is activating a marketing software on all our digital properties and just seeing how personalization can work even in testing phases. Personalization is a very broad term. Everything is personalized today on social media with LLMs, etc. To do personalization at scale, you need a lot of data. Even without a lot of data, there's tools today that allow personalization software to get signals of who a user is. Launching this personalization tool on our digital properties where we're able to essentially provide different content, much more targeted content with relevant messaging to a user. It was just an awesome experience from start to finish, including how it ended up resulting in the user experience. And then we have some fun in the back end where we're testing different personalization algorithms to see which one really sticks.
Why do you think this work is particularly relevant right now?
Yeah, consumers expecting their digital experiences to be highly personalized based just on all the tech that's out there today. Whether you're on YouTube or Netflix or Amazon, they know exactly what you've bought and what you've shopped and what you enjoy watching on TV. Consumers are conditioned to having this very personalized experience today. Marketers with overall budgets tightening, needing to be extremely conscious of ROI and showing the impact of their technology investments or their marketing investments. They need to prove impact faster. They need to optimize their spend smarter. You're actually wasting a lot of one size fits all type of messaging and like this spray and pray approach where you're targeting consumers with common messaging across different segments and geographies and demographics. I think with budgets tightening, marketers need to be more attuned to the latest technologies. These platforms now allow our teams to essentially reallocate dollars more efficiently. They can identify underperforming channels earlier and they can scale what's working. I think that's a pretty significant impact because we're immediately able to show the impact on marketing savings. So either an ROI
Hmm.
impact or a cost efficiency impact, which is significant when we're working in the days of highly scrutinized budgets.
What do you think your superpower is?
I think my superpower is bringing together the right people in the room to have the right discussion. I'm good at connecting the dots across data, people, strategy, and then being able to translate this complexity across departments and different skill sets to keep everyone focused and aligned and reaching towards a North Star. One thing that sticks out to me that's really persistent across how we work with people at work as well as personal life is the ability to build trust. I've learned that this concept of building trust in people, in processes, in data is really what makes change possible. Marketers expect data to be accurate. Trust in the data essentially creates trust in our systems and in our platforms. Without trust, even the best insights go unused. We have to make our processes extremely transparent, data quality checks and accuracy and hygiene and governance and all that. People also need to trust you. I'm an extrovert. I make connections with people easily. I'm super transparent in my ways of working. I tend to overshare information so that people feel like they're in the loop and not
Hmm.
feeling excluded. I feel I'm able to connect the dots with people because I'm able to get people to trust in the bigger purpose of what we're trying to do. If you bring people in to some of your challenges and problems, I feel like people align with you better. If you get people to understand what the common North Star is, especially if you all work for the same company, which has similar goals, that trust piece goes a long way in getting people to work with you.
How might what you're doing change the world?
I feel like making good data accessible to more people, we can empower people to make smarter decisions, not just in marketing, not just in business, but really in any industry. And smarter decisions at scale can change industries, it can change opportunities, it can change lives. Especially now in the age of LLMs and the amount you can do with generative AI and autonomous AI, whether it's driverless cars like Waymo's and autonomous agents that are doing your travel bookings for you. It really comes down to good, trusted data. And the more accurate and trustworthy this data is, how AI and really the future of technology and humankind can scale.
Can you tell me something valuable that you've learned through your career journey?
Stay focused and persistent in stuff that you're interested in and interests you. I talked a lot about data and trust and personalization software and consumer experience and digital strategy, et cetera, which has been my passion and natural leaning from the time I started my work career. But making work your passion and not just work, I think is important. Ultimately, you need to get up every morning and enjoy what you're doing. So I would just say stay focused and committed in stuff that you're interested in and that keeps you excited, and the rest will follow.